Hey guys, another video from the Anti-Nerd here, and today I'm bringing the last review of the mini comic book wave, ROM, Space Knight. The most wanted figure, the first to be sold out at Hasbro Pulse and Amazon. It's going already for an aftermarket price of about $40 in the moment I record this video. So I already released almost all of the wave except Banshee. I'm not getting Banshee, but I reviewed all of the other ones and I really like this wave. The accessory is not the best, but it's a good wave, good picks overall. And ROM is probably the most obscure character because this is the first time he's getting his own Marvel Legends. And let's see if they did correct, if they did it right, if they did justice to this obscure character from the 70s comic book. So let's take a look at ROM Space Knight. So there he is outside of the packaging. Really cool artwork. Already mentioned, this is a throwback. The lettering font they use is a throwback to the early Hasbro Marvel Legends. And ROM right here, I can tell that he's really tall, and the painting that they used was really good because this guy comes with a lot of silver on it. It's okay regarding accessories. It does have the same weapon with different designs, and take a look at the date. This is the oldest of all the collection. It dates 1979. All the other characters, they're mostly from different time periods. Maybe Banshee is a little older, but the ones I got, ROM is the oldest one. So very cool that they try to make this character right here kind of like a random choice. I don't think anyone was asking for ROM. So Hasbro did really well remembering that this character exists and I also noticed that this is the only mini comic book that says Hasbro on it. So are they playing with their picks for ROM? Like, oh, Hasbro, remember Hasbro. Hasbro did that. I don't know what they signed it, but I really admire them taking a character that it wasn't particularly demanded and turning into a good Marvel Legends, because this one is the most wanted for a reason. This is probably the most well-made of the Marvel Legends mini comic book wave. And I want to shoot the image of him getting out of the package because it just looks so cinematic, so awesome. A robot like that coming out of the blister package right here. And let's take a look at the articulation because he's really bending and it's more articulated than I thought. Yeah, so really articulated, really shiny, very cool. As you can see, he kind of reflects with the light. And he does have a swivel right here at the upper torso. He does bend very quickly. This articulation on the one I got is really smooth. I don't know if they recycled anything, because look at the neck, so articulated. All the pieces, they pretty much look new. Maybe parts of the arm they could have used already in Cable or some strong character, but the legs are pretty much a new thing. And there's a lot of details right here. The jetpack looks really cool. The boots, very interesting figure. I'm really surprised with the quality of this one because I think that you can tell it's not like an expensive plastic, but it does feel a little more quality than the other ones regarding the design, because they really thought about this figure. And I think for $25 you really get something quality for the price. So Marvel Legends have this. Some figures of 25, they're not worth the 25, but some are worth even more in terms of value. And usually the aftermarket kind of proves that. So yeah, very interesting figure. I do think that it's almost unanimous that fans are thinking ROM is the best of the wave. I wasn't gonna get him, but since a lot of people are saying that it's a good figure, I decided to get it, especially to review it. He does come with extra hands, better than nothing. He comes with a fist hand and an open hand, and then the other two hands are hands to hold the weapon right here. That comes with a blast effect. One blast effect for two weapons, so you can attach the blast effect in any of the weapons, but you cannot attach both weapons at the same time because it only comes with one blast effect, right? But it's still very fitting to his outfit this weapon right here. So you can take a look more detailed the difference of design. It's not super subtle, but I also don't know much about the character to know if there's any real difference regarding those weapons, right? So let's compare the height and shape with Daken right here, Daken. Daken's my least favorite of all the wave. Please check my other reviews. I am reviewing this ROM as the last review, so all the other ones are posted. Huge difference in height with Miles Morales, as expected. ROM is clearly the tallest and a very tall Marvel Legends overall. And he really moves super well. I want to do some poses with him right here so you can take a better look at how he poses. Very smooth articulation, very interesting. Here's with the blast effect. Very cool. The eyes, they just give this neutral, scary vibe. Like, he can be either good or a little bit evil. But, you know, he's a space knight. And he does look like a robot warrior that has that futuristic vibe that people in the 70s and 80s and 60s, they used to imagine the future with a certain look that never went through, that never was accomplished. So I think ROM just looks very vintage. And it's cool that he's in this super kind of like a retro, but not so retro cardboard right here. Very, very interesting that in 2025 they decided to make this character. So I'm gonna give a grade 10 out of 10. I think there is no reason to remove any point out of his grading, because it's just a figure that's really solid. And I want to show how faithful he is with the comic, because that's the only comic I have that ROM is featured. It's the Incredible Hulk issue. But as you can see, it's very, very faithful with the source material. He does look very much like the comic. And what other channel of action figure reviewer would you be comparing the figure with such a vintage comic? Only in the Anti-Nerd right here. So stay tuned to my new videos. I'm gonna be doing comic book reviews soon, so stay tuned to the Anti-Nerd. Very faithful to the source material, as I could tell. Very nice, crazy pose in the cover art right here. So what figure did you like the most about the wave? My objective ranking would be ROM in the first place, and then Miles Morales, 9 out of 10, and then a tie between Adam Warlock and Iron Man, 8 out of 10, and then the least favorite's Daken, 6 out of 10. But my personal ranking would be Iron Man first, and then Miles Morales, then ROM, then Adam Warlock, and then Daken. I think the best clearly are ROM, and Ultimate Iron Man is the one you get the most new pieces, new tooling per price. So I hope you enjoyed all this journey reviewing the mini comic book wave. Very happy to be doing with you guys this, and stay tuned to the channel because there's a lot of new content coming. Very interesting wave, and I hope you see you guys next time. So bye bye.